welcome to another review by Emily Illustrator. Today we are going to be reviewing the Arteza Everblend art markers, the 36 gray tones and the 36 portrait tones. These are great because you have each section separated rather than a full set of all the colors. If you're an artist who specifically does a lot of portraits or a lot of black and white, now you can get your sets in the individual colors for just the ones that you are using. Like I said, there's 36 in each one. They are $30.99 on the Arteza website. I'm also going to have a 10% off coupon code in the description, so feel free to check that out. They come in a plastic case like this. You just pop it on open. And they come in 3 separate trays for all of the colors. You can see there's a wide range of all of the portrait tones, and it's the same with the gray tones. They come in the plastic case. It's not really meant for long term, I think, but what you can do is on the Arteza website there is also a nice fabric case that has 72 slots that would hold all of these portrait tones, and that is on their website for $26.98. It has, so each set has 36 blendable shades, obviously, anywhere from your very dark to pretty light range. They are alcohol based, so they can bleed through thinner paper, so I would recommend using an artist edition or a thicker paper to go ahead and use these, or you lay down something behind your paper so that you don't bleed onto the surface behind you. Each of these markers has a chisel tip and a fine tip, and you can tell which end is which by the little chisel emblem here and the fine tip here, but also one end has a colored band and one end does not. The fine point has the colored band and the chisel tip does not. Also on the end of every marker has the color code as well as the color name, so that can help you keep it organized if you decide to create a color swatch, which we will be doing here shortly. Each end has a fine tip, just like this one, as well as chisel tip, just like I mentioned before. But the other great thing about it is it has a triangular barrel that makes it really nice to hold in your hand. Very ergonomic, so your hands don't get tired and you've got a nice easy grip on it. As I said, since it has the chisel tip and the fine tip, that means that you were able to create a wide range of images with both of those different kinds of tips. For instance, this is a page created by an artist named Rafferty. I'll put the link for her Instagram and her Etsy in the description below as well. But she has created a swatch of about 12 different faces here that is specifically skin tone practice. So I figured that this was a good chance to try out all of the range of colors in both the portrait tones and the gray tones. So you can see here on the top 8 I use the portrait tones, and in the bottom 8 I use the gray tones. In the non-portrait capacity, just because I really like the range of colors, I created this as well. This is an illustration by Rachel Reinert from her artist edition of Botanical Wonderland, so it's got a nice thick cardstock, which made it great for these art markers because, like I said, since they're alcohol markers, they can bleed through. As you can see on the back, depending on where I pressed more ink, you can see it bled through just a little bit. But what you can also see is the variation in colors and the shading that I was able to accomplish with the markers. In these next examples, I used the chisel tip and the fine tip based on where I was coloring these ones. So as you can see, I've done the same face. These 2 images are also by Rafferty. She's wonderful at creating portraits, which seemed perfect for practicing the new portrait and gray tone markers. So we have a gray tone face here as well as a portrait tone face, and I was still able to get a wide range of shading and color usage. And I mean, as you can see, there's a big difference between the images themselves. And you can see that I was able to get a wonderful range of blending from them as well, which speaks to the blending capability of the markers themselves. So what we're going to do now is create a swatch chart so you can see the full range of colors offered by the 36 count sets. I hope you've enjoyed this review of the Arteza Everblend markers, the 36 portrait tones and the 36 gray tones. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.